Click the links to join the channel here over at Subscribestar, now over at Odyssey. Thanks to the 2 new members over there. So keep in mind, this is the teen Vogue that was pushing anal sex for teenage girls a while ago. And this is the upper left-hand corner. It says, Anatomy of a Prostate Owner. Males? That's... Words have meanings? No, not in Weimar. Words mean whatever the SPLCA, ADLA, CLU wants them to mean, and they change in 1984 fashion from moment to moment. So Teen Vogue pushing polyamorous degeneracy. So breaking story, the media is made up of filthy demons who work tirelessly to push Sodom and Gomorrah and create a hell on earth. That shouldn't be news to you. The media is not just satisfied with pushing parents to put their kids on cross-sex hormone blockers, puberty blockers, and then finally have elective surgery to sterilize them. No, they're going to go even further in case the filter didn't catch enough people there. They're also going to push polyamory. What that means is poly, many, amory, love. It means 3 or more obese, blue-haired, dysgenic, physiognomy is real, panty-sniffing, Bolshevik, rootless, tribeless, found family types get a bed, reinforce it with extra plywood and 4x4s, and have disgusting, ugly, fat person sex. The search engines, when you search the polyamorous relationship, show blonde Ubermensch Aryan gods and goddesses. The reality is, well, you can take that, but you add in an additional 200 pounds and you're closer to reality. So this is something that is almost totally for fat people. Most of the left wing in general is the meme of physiognomy is real come to life. I could convert Antifa boys by taking them to a summer camp, have them stop eating junk food completely, get them jogging and squatting and push-ups, and after 2 months, they wouldn't be Antifa anymore. Suddenly, they would view the world through a different lenses, and the left wing knows that. Like, they very much do not encourage physical fitness or eating right. It's accept your body the way it is. That's not the way humans have looked for the past 10 million years or million years since you want to consider, like, look at you're not supposed to carry that much adipose. That's just my body is. I'm intuitively eating processed foods. If you told me you're intuitively eating beans, rice, and a can of tuna, I'd be like, okay, fine, fair enough, but you're not going to be 300 pounds without eating the crap that people are eating. Honestly, the worst thing that came to small towns was fast food, and that kind of hit our town back in the 80s and 90s. So they would, if you got these people in shape, they'd be on their way to based Chad, Hugo Boss, istophobes. They'd become nationalists, and they'd see globalism for the psyop it is. Antifa, globalist, Twitter, SJWs only exist because of generational media anti-family, anti-natal, anti-in-group preferences, brainwashing. The goal is Frankfurt School 101. Have people cut off their blood tribe family because the media brainwashes them to think that these older generations, their own family, are wrong about their worldview and their values, that they're istophobic and the media's values should be respected and listened to. That's the power of propaganda. It really is that powerful. They can get people to believe anything. And I say this because people are literally sterilizing their children now. What more evidence? No. This is who they really are. No, it's not. Who they really are is before you took them to get elective surgery and drugs. You're insane. You're clearly brainwashed. So the media has brainwashed people to think that there's no greater evil than istophobicism and not following the narrative. And the kids never stop to ask why, because in schools they're taught what to think, not how to think, where they should be taught to question everything. And sacred cows make the best. Oh yeah, we're going to go after Christianity. Yeah, I know. You go after that. Let's go after some other sacred cows. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go after Christianity. That's what I thought. So they just watch the TV, and it changed them from asking for evidence and reason to listen and parrot what the TV says, and if you disagree with it, you're istophobic. TV globalists say blonde people are bad, blue eyes, you're evil, Christians are bad. If you watch TV and movies, you believe it, because once you put on the sunglasses, you just don't watch anything. At least I'll say you don't watch anything new anymore, made after a certain date. And even the stuff, as you go back further and further, you learn to see it for what it is, and you have to find stuff that is just doesn't have the messaging so heavy-handed. But new stuff, I don't think you're going to find anything nowadays that, especially after 2016, that is not just completely bullshit cancer. So they want people rootless and not blood tribe founded. They want people founded in morality from the TV. It's like to laugh. TV propaganda is so powerful that kids will take hormones, sterilize themselves, and leave their families behind because the TV told them that their family is intolerant and istophobic. But they never realized that you should never tolerate globalist media. The issue is that the people don't really believe the media can actually be this evil, like biblically evil. But they are. Disney isn't Disney, an entertainment company. If you put on the glasses, you can see Disney as the demonic entity, a dark tower whose goal is to destroy the West, destroy all family, all structure and order, Christianity, anything European, blonde and blue-eyed. They even attack Euro religions like Asatru, which is very interesting, but it's not really for YouTube. But it's so small that it slips under the radar. Anything with Euros having in-group preferences, clubs, religions, groups, just for them, the media will try to focus on and destroy. All the other groups are fine, for some reason. Only groups that look like you must not be allowed to organize without one of their political commissars acting as an overseer. I know this sounds kind of funny in tinfoil hat for this Teen Vogue article, but keep in mind these Cosmos and Vogues are pushing anal sex for teenage girls and intertribal relationships, women being whores, abortions, anything anti-Christian. Don't you think it's funny that 100% of the mainstream media is all degenerate globalist propaganda? If you're Christian or Euro-pagan, you're not allowed in the mainstream. And don't just listen to that and kind of dismiss it. Just pause it and think about that. For mainstream media, not alternative media, but in the mainstream, look at all the mainstream media and what the narrative is. Is there anything that portrays Christians in a positive light or European people doing Euro stuff just for them in a positive light, like they portray all these other groups having their little groups? Not in the mainstream. You won't find it. What is best for stability of a nation? Well, freeing ourselves of the toxic alt-left collection of demonic forces that are pushing the media narrative. What's best is that people have the deepest roots available. They do this by having in-group preferences where you stay within your loose tribe. That's the only way you can maintain a tribe. You don't marry your immediate family, of course, but if you're Irish, you marry an Irish person from a few towns over. That's the only way to create future Irish. Anything other than that destroys the tribe. You end up creating offspring with no connection to anything. Rootless people, which is what they want. America is a little different because then you'll seek out a new bullshit found family, which is as unstable as possible. America's a little bit different because it's European people in general who are forming these type of groups, which scares the puppet masters. But the goal of these globalists is to keep the country so off balance with, the door wide open and such bad economic shape with inflation and printing money and many other things, and with constant anti-white media brainwashing that people are depressed and hopeless. The media is pushing this because hopeless people are slaves to any ideology that says they have a solution. Hegelian 101, just trust the government. The same government that got us to this current destroyed country. Just vote harder, my guy. Except the open door means they imported 80 million Democratic voters since 1964. 2016 was the last real election. The only reason people accept this current Sodom and Gomorrah is because it didn't happen overnight. It's taken about 60 years, say since 1964, and the media switched from a patriarchy positive portrayal to subverting, corrupting, and destroying. Imagine if they just jumped into articles on teenagers sodomizing each other. People would burn down the publishers. In the future, there'll be articles about kids and adults, and people will just accept it because they slowly boil the frog. And I say this with absolute disgusting confidence because look at where we are now. It's accepted that kids should take hormones and have elective surgery to sterilize themselves because the media told them this is how they have to express themselves to be who they really are. And if the parent gets in the way, the state needs to take the kids away so they can sterilize them, and the parents need to be put in the medically insistence in death, like they're literally doing in Canada. Well, not in that combination, but they do have made medical assistance in dying in Canada, where if you're depressed or homeless or poor or struggling, they're very eager to. That's the only commercial that you'll see white people in. Weird, isn't it? Every horror you can imagine will come to pass because the Bolsheviks are in complete charge right now, and nothing and nobody can be bothered to get off the couch and do anything. Oh, that right-wing protest group is covering their face. Feds. That's coming from the right-wing MAGA type who I guess trust the plan. If you protest on the wrong side, the media and government will work together to track you down and destroy you. So no, you're not going to have a conventional solution to a country ruled by globalist NGOs. Oh, hey, look, there's my comment. Right now, parents are sterilizing their kids. If that's happening, then everything is on the table. If people accept that, they'll accept human sacrifice on the altar of Moloch and cannibalism. How does a civilization get this off track? Frankfurt School brainwashing that says any alternative views or disagreement of what the media puppet masters are pushing is fascism. Unless you're, if you're a conservative or you're a nationalist or you're tribal or something, then you must not tolerate the people of the light being tribal. All other groups are encouraged to unify and form groups so they can oppose the people of European descent. But when Euros try to do the same, suddenly the media decides to try to dox them, banks cancel their account and try to destroy them. It's like there's something going on underneath the surface. Anyway, support the subscribe star so I can start a spiritual retreat in Idaho. Need a few $1 million for that. Am I going to get it? Probably not, but you got to work towards the goal, and no matter what, no matter how out there it is, to peaceful spiritual retreat, Idaho or Montana or something. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next episode.